Welcome to the Liberty and Democracy Podcast. Are you a passionate believer in liberty and democracy? Are you concerned about the growing infiltration of Marxist and socialist ideology in our politics, media, and culture? This podcast was created by a citizen of the United States who was born and raised in Romania, a socialist country in Eastern Europe, during the 1970s and 1980s. As more and more members of our youth pivot towards Marxism, socialism, and communism in the United States of America and beyond, now, more than ever, it is important to focus on liberty and democracy, instead of the alluring Marxist and socialist trends which, as history repeatedly has shown, lead to repressive authoritarian regimes. Marxism does not lead to utopia either in the United States of America, or anywhere else in the world. Let us question governments, policies, and manufactured social progressivism. Let us go back to the times when it was okay for us to agree to disagree.
Welcome to the Liberty and Democracy Podcast. For the next few months, our podcast episodes published on Wednesdays will include excerpts from Maestro Cercia's ebook, Comparing and Contrasting the Republican, Democrat, and Libertarian Political Parties in the United States of America, to help you understand further the ideas behind the politics in the USA. Are you ready? Let's begin.
Thank you for joining today's Liberty and Democracy podcast. We will now listen to our ebook titled Comparing and Contrasting the Republican, Democrat, and Libertarian Political Parties in the United States of America. In today's episode, we will listen to Chapter 6, Contrasts between Political Parties, including subchapters Role of Government, as well as social and cultural issues, and economic policies and regulations. You are welcome to interact with our artificial intelligence chatbot and read the ebook online via the ebook page at www.sersea.com. Are you ready? Let's begin. Chapter 6: Contrasts between Political Parties. Role of Government. The Republican Party is often associated with conservative principles and advocates for a less intrusive government. They strongly believe in limited government and prioritize individual liberty and free markets. Republicans place great importance on personal responsibility and self-reliance, arguing that a smaller government fosters a more efficient and prosperous society. They advocate for reducing taxes and regulations to allow individuals and businesses to thrive without excessive government interference. On the other hand, the Democratic Party, known for its progressive stance, envisions a more active role for government. Democrats argue that government should play a significant role in solving societal issues and promoting equality. They believe in using the power of government to address economic disparities, protect civil rights, and ensure access to essential services such as healthcare and education. Democrats advocate for a more progressive tax system, where the wealthy contribute a larger share to fund social programs. In stark contrast, the Libertarian Party holds a fundamentally different view of the role of government. Libertarians believe in minimal government intervention and prioritize individual freedom above all else. They aim to reduce the scope and power of the government, emphasizing personal responsibility and voluntary interactions. Libertarians argue that individuals should be free to make their own choices as long as they do not infringe upon the rights of others. They advocate for limited taxation, deregulation, and the protection of civil liberties. While these three parties have clear distinctions, it is important to note that the role of government is a nuanced topic with varying beliefs within each party. For instance, some Republicans may advocate for government intervention in certain areas, such as national security and defense. Likewise, some Democrats may support limited government intervention in specific economic sectors while still championing social welfare programs. In conclusion, it is evident that the Republican, Democrat, and Libertarian parties differ significantly in their understanding of the role of government. Republicans lean towards limited government intervention and emphasize individual liberty, while Democrats seek a more active role for government to address societal issues and promote equality. Libertarians, on the other hand, advocate for minimal government intervention and prioritize individual freedom. It is crucial for citizens and residents of the United States of America to understand these differences to make informed decisions when engaging in the political process. Social and cultural issues. The Republican Party has traditionally upheld conservative values and exhibits a higher degree of resistance to change when it comes to social and cultural matters. Preservation of traditional family structures, religious values, and moral principles is of utmost importance to them. This is evident in their positions on issues such as abortion, same-sex marriage, and transgender rights. Republicans generally advocate for minimal government intervention in these areas, advocating for the freedom for individuals and communities to make choices based on their own beliefs and values. Conversely, the Democratic Party positions itself as more progressive and inclusive with regards to social and cultural issues. They prioritize equality and often call for government intervention to address social injustices and promote social progress. Democrats have been at the forefront in advocating for the rights of marginalized groups, such as the LGBTQ+ community and women. They support policies such as reproductive rights and marriage equality, arguing that the government should play a role in ensuring equal treatment and protection for all citizens. The Libertarian Party takes a distinctly different approach to social and cultural issues compared to the other parties. Libertarians prioritize individual freedom and advocate for minimal government interference in personal matters. They believe that individuals have the right to make their own choices as long as they do not directly harm others. This leads libertarians to typically support policies like drug decriminalization, the elimination of victimless crime laws, and industry deregulation. Their argument centers around the idea that personal liberty should be paramount and individuals should have the freedom to live their lives as they see fit, as long as they do not infringe upon the rights of others. Although the differences among the Republican, Democrat, and Libertarian parties regarding social and cultural issues are clearly delineated, there are areas where their views overlap. For instance, all three parties acknowledge the significance of safeguarding civil liberties, albeit their interpretations may vary. Additionally, there are instances where individuals within each party may hold more moderate or independent views that diverge from the party's overall stance. In conclusion, the Republican, Democrat, and Libertarian political parties in the United States possess distinctive perspectives on social and cultural issues. Republicans tend to support traditional values, Democrats advocate for progress and equality, and Libertarians prioritize individual freedom. Understanding these disparities and assessing how they align with personal values and beliefs is essential in making informed decisions as citizens and residents of the United States of America. Economic policies and regulation. The Republican Party has long prioritized free market principles and limited government intervention in the economy. Republicans believe that reducing regulations and taxes can foster economic growth by creating a favorable environment for businesses and allowing individuals to retain more of their earnings. They endorse supply-side economics, also known as reaganomics, which posits that lowering taxes for the wealthy will encourage investment and job creation. Many Republicans are attracted to this approach because they value individual choice and trust in the efficiency of markets. Conversely, the Democratic Party places a greater emphasis on social justice and equality in its economic policies. Democrats argue that government intervention is necessary to address economic inequality and protect vulnerable populations. They advocate for progressive taxation, whereby higher-income individuals are subject to heavier taxes in order to fund social programs aimed at safeguarding those less fortunate. Democrats view regulation as essential for preventing abuses by corporations and safeguarding the interests of consumers and workers. They assert that a well-regulated economy promotes fairness and prevents market failures. As a libertarian, I consider economic freedom and limited government intervention to be the cornerstones of a prosperous society. Libertarians ardently believe in the right of individuals to freely engage in voluntary transactions without undue interference from the government. They argue that regulations frequently hinder innovation, impede market efficiency, and curtail consumers' choices. Libertarians advocate for minimal regulation and low taxes, as they believe these policies promote greater individual freedoms and stimulate economic growth. They posit that when individuals are free to make their own economic decisions, entrepreneurship and innovation thrive, ultimately benefiting society as a whole. While the Republican Party aligns somewhat with the Libertarian Party in their pro-business and low-tax positions, there are notable distinctions. Republicans, unlike Libertarians, are more open to supporting government intervention in selected areas such as national security and social conservatism. Conversely, Democrats are more inclined to endorse government intervention and regulation across various sectors of the economy, often at the expense of free market principles. In summary, the Republican, Democratic, and Libertarian parties diverge in their economic policies and approach to regulation. Republicans champion free market principles and limited government intervention. Democrats prioritize addressing economic inequalities and protecting vulnerable populations through government actions, while libertarians advocate for minimal regulation and maximum individual freedom in economic decision-making. Understanding the contrasting perspectives of these three parties is essential for citizens and residents of the United States to make informed choices and shape the future of their nation.
Thank you for listening to today's episode of the Liberty and Democracy Podcast. We hope you found today's content interesting, intriguing, and useful. You're invited to join us again, as our podcast episodes are now published every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. In the meanwhile, don't forget to stop by our website at www.libertarian.center or our Liberty and Democracy YouTube channel at bit.ly/democracy videos.